This is kind of crazy, man. So at first I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just something wrong with my rig, maybe it's just something wrong with my game, maybe I gotta reinstall the game, maybe something got corrupted with one of the recent updates, one thing or another. But no, after doing some digging, it turns out I am not, in fact, the only person having these issues, and a lot of people are experiencing hard crashes with Black Ops 6 on PC at the moment, no matter where they have it installed. Steam, Battle.net, Xbox, doesn't matter. And we're not just talking about a typical hard crash, where it's like, okay, maybe the game crashes, maybe it crashes your PC, you gotta restart your PC, turn it back on. It's like a freak thing, super rare, whatever, not a big deal. But no, this actually is quite a big deal, because not only is it hard crashing people's PCs, which in itself can actually cause a lot of issues with your PC. I mean, it could be a number of things, right? Whether it's corrupting your hard drive or just causing other things inside of your build to malfunction, because when the PC just shut off just like that, when just all power is just kind of cut to it, that's not good for the computer. So at the best of times, it can just be extremely inconvenient, whenever the game crashes and you gotta go through the whole reboot process of turning your PC back on. But at the worst of times, it can lead to what we're seeing right now, the widespread across the Call of Duty community, because this is happening to almost everybody that plays Call of Duty on PC. Maybe not everybody, but at least like 80% of people from what I'm seeing online. Like, this is a very widespread thing that almost everybody has experienced at least once since Season 2's update went live. But there is now hundreds, if not thousands, of reports online of people saying that their PCs are actually being damaged or corrupted in some way because of these crashes. And yeah, I'm sorry, I can't take that risk. I'm a content creator. I upload YouTube videos on a daily basis, as well as uploading on other social media platforms and doing other work from home that requires me to have a PC. So as much as I love Call of Duty and as much as I love being able to make content on the game, the only time that I'm going to be able to play the game until they fix this is over on console in my free time. And since I don't have a capture card anymore, that just means I really can't make Black Ops 6 videos, because I record my Black Ops 6 videos on PC, and I'm sorry, but I'm not risking damaging my PC just for the sake of playing the game. You know what I mean? Like, again, I love the game. I'm going to continue to play it over on console because there's no issues at this time when it comes to crashes and severe damage like that for consoles. Like, right now, I'm literally scrolling through threads. It fried my new CPU. Like, I'm sorry, but I can't take that risk just for the sake of making a video. Hopefully, they can get this ironed out soon, because right now, there is a free trial going on for Black Ops 6, which means that there are thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of people that are just, downloading the game to try it out. And a lot of people play on PC nowadays, so they're going to be downloading the game like, oh man, let me try out this new Call of Duty. And then their first experience with the game is getting their CPU fried, getting their hard drive corrupted, or God knows what else. Y'all know me, I hate making negative videos like this. Like, I can't stand the current state of Call of Duty, where, like, the meta in the community is just to make a bunch of negative, clickbaiting, hateful videos on YouTube or TikTok or whatever, just because that's what drives up the engagement the most, which means that those creators get more views and money, because the more outrage there is in the community, the more likely the community is to comment on their posts, and then, boost their engagement, which then boosts their views, which then boost their revenue, because that's all the community cares about. I'm sorry to break it to you, but half of the quote-unquote outraged creators aren't outraged. It's the current meta, and not even just Call of Duty creation, but just if you look at really any community, like any gaming community, you'll notice a pretty scary trend where the negative stuff is what people want to watch, I guess, so that's just what people are creating now. But this is entirely different, because this is a genuine issue, like a genuine, real, threatening issue, especially, again, for folks like me and many other people nowadays that work remotely or work from home in one way or another, whether it's through content creation or just other means. I mean, there's dozens, if not hundreds, of different remote jobs out there. So for the time being, I don't know. I guess I'm just gonna have to scroll through my PC, find some random games, and for the next couple days, we'll just make a bunch of random videos on random games, just kind of dive in for a bit, chill, talk, hang out, and then hope that Black Ops 6 gets fixed here on PC soon, especially, again, because not only is there a free trial happening, but the Double XP weekend's going to be going live, which means a bunch of people are going to want to play the game. But then there's also the Terminator event going live, and obviously Call of Duty is going to be advertising that like crazy, like, oh man, dive in and try this new Terminator event. Oh man, let me dive in and fry my CPU, or crash my PC, or corrupt my hard drive. Spyro in the world of dragons. Man, this game is awesome. Now see, I have a massive nostalgia bias, so every time that I replay this game, I always just go back and play the PS1 original for like that entire original trilogy. I have played each of the games here on the Reignited trilogy, and like, again, this isn't a fantastic remake, don't get me wrong. It's just one of those things where it's kind of like nostalgia bias, and just, when I go to replay the game, when I'm thinking like, oh man, I want to replay Spyro, I just always gravitate towards that original one. But man, I do gotta start doing some of my replays here in the Reignited trilogy, because this is a fantastic remake, and I'm so glad that they did it. I hope we get a new Spyro game at some point. If Crash could literally retcon retcon the entirety of everything from Crash 3 up until when they finally released Crash 4, It's About Time, which it really wasn't Crash 4, that was like Crash 15. The adventure begins. Oh, yes it does, man. I won't lie, I do have my graphics settings kind of low across the board. I mean, they're not all low, most of them are on like medium, but I did turn some things down to low just because, I mean, I don't know. I don't have the best rig in the world. I'm not sure how well the game would run at all high settings. Then again, if I can run Black Ops 6, no problem, this would probably run at higher settings just fine. I'm sure if I put the game at like 30 FPS and just cap it at that, I could probably crank everything up to ultra, but honestly, I'm just, for the sake of the video, I'll just keep everything at like medium at 60 FPS and just see how it goes. One thing I do gotta say is that I am kind of glad that I haven't played this version of the game as much, because now every time that I do dive in and finally play it, it still just blows me away just how amazing this remake looks, even though I've like already played it before, just because, again, most times I go back to play the original, so this still feels like fresh and new to me when I do finally dive in and play it again. We've saved one dragon, now we save two dragon. I always love the little details out here too, like every time that you torch the grass, it actually like sets on fire, kind of melts or whatever. Like I was saying before though, if Crash can literally retcon like almost like over 2 decades worth of games, then Spyro, I mean, I don't even think Spyro necessarily has to retcon anything in the same way that Crash did, which even then, I don't think Crash had to retcon anything. I'm one of the few Crash fans that actually likes games like Crash of the Titans, Mind Over Mutant, and then all the other ones in between, like Twin Sanity, which is honestly probably my favorite Crash game, Wrath of Cortex. But whether or not Spyro would actually retcon everything after the 3rd game, or if it would just keep that in the continuity with like all the Legend of Spyro stuff, which went off into, like, there was like a bunch of different games there. There was some on the PS2. I think I speak for all Spyro fans out there when I say that I just want a new Spyro game, you know what I mean? You got this giant goblin here carrying all the bags of gems. Gonna just torch him a couple of times. Torch him once, twice, get him a 3rd time, and nope, get back here. There we go. Then he drops even more gems, and he fades away into wherever he goes. Like, for example, I'll go ahead, like I said, everything's kind of on a mix of like medium and low right now. I'll try cranking up the graphics just to see what happens. I might have to cap it at 30 to keep it looking that nice though. I don't care what happens though, I always keep motion blur and vignette off. It doesn't matter what games I'm playing, like motion blur is always off, and if vignette's an option, I always turn that off too, because turning it on, literally all it does is darken the edges of the screen a little bit. Like, I don't know if you can actually tell the difference. I don't know, it kind of just makes me feel like I'm wearing sunglasses. Like, I'd rather just have everything look clear and nice, you know what I mean? Some of these settings have ultra settings as well, like that goes up to high, this one, okay, that one only goes up to high, but then shadows, for example, can go all the way up to ultra. I don't know if I should be going all the way up to ultra. I mean, I'll give it a whirl, let's see how the game runs. Maybe I've been underestimating my PC, maybe, oh, I can crank things up to high. Okay, I thought that my game was gonna start like stuttering and running like crap, but no, my PC is actually more capable than I thought. Sweet. I literally have everything on the highest settings right now. I thought if I did that, my game was gonna start running at like 20 FPS, but no, dude, we're still like a lock 60. This is awesome. I've said it before, I don't really care about frame rates in games. Like, I'm the same dude that played GoldenEye and Perfect Dark split screen on the N64 back in the day. Anytime you're trying to do split screen on those games, man, FPS goes down to like single digits, and I mean, I still had a blast, and I still would these days. But for the sake of the video, I know other people don't share my sentiment and wouldn't want to sit there watching something at like 5 FPS. So, you know, I at least try to make sure that when I'm playing games and I'm optimizing my settings, I'm optimizing it from the creator perspective of trying to keep it at least like a nice 60, just like so it's a smooth experience, because I know a lot of people have a strong preference nowadays to view 60 FPS content over, say, just like 30 FPS content, which, yeah, you know, everybody has their preferences. I'm really proud of my rig right now. I know it's really not that impressive being able to run this game at ultra settings, but I did not think my game was, I didn't think my PC was capable of all this. Now I need to go check my other game settings, because there's so many times where I restrict myself and I keep the settings at like low or medium just to avoid like too many frame dips. But the amount of times that I'll just go in and be like, you know what would happen if I crank everything up to high or ultra or whatever the max settings are, and it just runs just fine. Like, I think I really gotta stop underestimating my rig. There's a difference with some of these boxes. These metal ones, you can't actually like blow open with fire. You gotta like ram your head into it. Then you got some of these ones where you can either ram into them or you can just kind of like set them on fire since they're only wooden. And we have another dragon right here. Yes. We have rescued Lindar. It is also worth keeping in mind that I'm literally running OBS at the same time, which is quite intensive when it comes to like your system resources and such, and yeah, man, still lock 60. I tried turning vignette on just to see if this would be a better place to show it off, and I don't know if you can actually tell the difference, but this is with vignette on, and then this is with vignette off. Again, it is a very slight difference, but you might be able to tell, like, your eyes just feel a bit more free to look everywhere when vignette is off versus when it's on, where it just kind of feels like it's like kind of weirdly dark, like you're wearing sunglasses, and sort of just like constricts your vision towards like the center of the screen. I don't know. I just really don't like vignette. I remember the one extreme example was like Star Wars Battlefront 2. That game's vignette is extremely strong. I always turn it off, because when you turn it on, it's like you could barely see like the corners of your screen, whereas when you turn it off, you're actually able to just see the entire screen, and it's a nice, clear, crisp, beautiful image. It's pretty crazy that this game only uses like 2 gigs of my memory, because I remember when I first built my rig, I made sure to stack it out. I got like 32 gigs of RAM in there, which is the most that I've ever had in any of my rigs. Time to save another dragon. We have rescued a store. We have now returned home. And with that, I think that's just kind of where we're gonna call it for this video. Again, I really wish that I could keep making Black Ops 6 content, especially with how much exciting stuff is coming to the game between the free trial week going on, the double XP weekend that's about to get started, and then the Terminator event that I've been hyping up for like the last week now. I've been talking about how excited I am for it. And while I'll still obviously be able to play the game in my free time, no problem, and still play through the event and such, I won't be able to make content on it, which makes me really sad, because obviously I want to make content on it, but hopefully Treyarch can get this issue ironed out as fast as possible, because the fact that it's literally like bricking people's rigs and causing damage and such, it's just like, come on, man, really? I can't stop running around and setting the grass on fire. Like, that's such a cool detail to me. But anyways, yeah, here's hoping Treyarch can get that fixed really soon, but otherwise, I'll surprise you guys with another random game tomorrow and for the days to follow until they end up fixing that issue. But anyways, as always, massive shout out, thank you to all the Patrons, and shout out, remember, stick it all in the low ball tier, name your shout out, thank you to the big ball tier, Mel asking, Epic Dad Manny, and the biggest shout out, been all in G tier, Random Mention, Cheese Girl. Thank you guys so much, guys. You're literal legends. I love you. Have an amazing day. Stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.